want to explore that a little bit more detail with John Barrasso, the Wyoming Republican senator. Senator, I have a pretty good idea where you are on all of this spending, because even through the Trump years, you were worried about deficits building and debt building, and it's still building. But a majority of Americans favor and like what they're seeing here. I'm not saying by overwhelming margins, but are you worried that, whatever your own doubts, it does seem to be resonating with the American people? They like it, maybe, as I was just raising with the former OMB director, because they don't have to pay for it. What do you think?
Well, ultimately, people are going to have to pay for this, Neil. As you know, Joe Biden is becoming the $6 trillion man, as you just showed on the screen, and he doesn't have any of the superpowers that he would like to have. His powers are in basically destroying jobs and, I believe, damaging the economy. And the impact of the average family in this country, it's $46,000 for every household. I mean, that is a heavy weight on the economy. We're talking about more money in 6 months of Joe Biden's presidency than all that we spent to win World War II. So we're talking about a massive amount of red ink.
So I know you're against all the tax increases that are part of this, largely leveled at the rich, but you've also said that it wouldn't end with the rich. Could you explain?
Well, I think that what we're seeing with this amount of red ink, that there's going to have to be tax increases if Joe Biden is going to be able to deal with all of this. You're talking about taxes that everyone is going to have to pay, not just some higher income or businesses. Like, when you tax businesses, that ricochets back on the people that live and spend money in our country. So they're going to raise taxes on individuals, on businesses, on investments, on death, on inheritance, all of those things. Everyone will ultimately pay, and that will hurt the economy. What we know is that when we cut taxes in 2017, more people worked, higher wages, lower unemployment, the things that you'd want in a growing economy. When you raise taxes, it goes the other way. So I have a lot of concerns about what I'm expecting to hear tonight, which is Joe Biden giving away the store.
Do you have any concerns right now, Senator, that these initiatives, like infrastructure, for example, Republicans have come up with a plan that I think is about a quarter to a third of what the president's is, but it would not involve tax increases. I believe user fees, tolls, that sort of thing. How likely is that? Is that the best, when Democrats ask, is that the best Republicans are countering? Is that the best alternative that Republicans are coming up with to challenge what the president wants to do on infrastructure?
Well, that's core infrastructure. It's roads and bridges. It's the sorts of things that most Americans think of when they think of infrastructure. Remember, the president's proposal, which is basically Act 2 of the spending. Act 1 was the so-called coronavirus relief, where very little went for health care. Act 2 is his so-called infrastructure, where less than 6% of the money goes for roads and bridges. And then Act 3 is what we're going to hear tonight, I believe, in terms of free everything, free college, free child care, you name it. That's so far the 3-act play for Joe Biden. With the infrastructure proposal that we've made, and I was one of the 4 proposing that at the news conference the other day, it's core infrastructure. It will help with roads, bridges, ports, airports, waterways.
All right.
The Biden plan has more money for electric cars in it than it does for all of those key issues that the American people need, want, and we can afford to do right now.
Senator Barrasso, thank you very much. Good catching up with you. John Barrasso of
Great
Wyoming.
to be with you.